Hello everyone, welcome to EduNext Academy, where we make science simple, exciting, and meaningful for young ones. Uh, I'm Mani, and today I'm going to start the NEET Foundation for 6th class. Okay, zoology, is the science of life, studying animals, including humans, from smallest brain cell that helps us think to largest creature on the earth. So zoology is full of wonder. For my young classics champions, this is your first step on NEET journey. You are starting earlier than most. That gives you a huge advantage because every doctors, every scientist, once they begins to think how the things happens, the same thing might be sparking in your mind. So, dear parents, this series is your roadmap to guide your child preparing for NEET from very beginning. So, this is not just about studying hard in the class 11 and 12. It begins with strong foundation. Now, this is your encouragement and the right guidance that your child will develop clarity, discipline, confidence to succeed, not only in exam but also in life. So let's start this journey together, student and parents, side by side, because every big dreams needs support of strong family and right direction. So, hello बच्चों, let us start our video on neurons today. न्यूरॉन क्या होता है? ब्रेन सेल, ब्रेन का जो स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनल यूनिट स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट होता है उसको बोलते हैं न्यूरॉन और ब्रेन सेल. So let us discuss about brain cell. This is the basic structure of our brain cell. So now we see here this particular thing is called cell body of our neuron, means brain cell. It is a very powerful cell of our brain which is responsible for everything. Whatever we think, we remember, we act, we feel. This is all due to this neuron. Okay. So now इसको कैसे it looks like this. ये इसी तरह दिखता है. समझे? ये जो पार्ट है न्यूरॉन का इसको बोलते हैं सेल बॉडी और सोमा. Soma is the powerhouse, means center of the cell, means it is a control center. You can say the cell body known as soma. It is the controller, or it is the control house of neuron. It is the controller or control house of neuron. Neuron nervous system, from nervous system it is named as neuron. Nervous system जो brain related होता है ना चीज, जो हमारा ब्रेन होता है उसका जो सेल होता है उसको बोलते हैं न्यूरॉन. सो टोटल ब्रेन एक्टिविटी को बोलते हैं, और ब्रेन मतलब ब्रेन से लेकर स्पाइनल कर्ड तक बोलते हैं नर्वस सिस्टम. ओके. So this is the main part of the neuron. Okay. So in the branch-like structure you are seeing here, these are known as dendrites. Dendrites, just like antenna, receive signals. Just like antenna, but you might have seen antenna at your home, TV antenna or radio antenna, or any antenna you have seen at your home. It receives the signal. Similarly, this branch-like structure known as dendrites. This is known as dendrites. Dendrites. This is basically it is just like an antenna of this neuron. It receives the signal from other part of our body. Okay. So after receiving the signal by the dendrites, the cell body process the signal. And process means it will analyze which kind of signal is coming, where from your muscles, from your bone or any part of the body the signal is coming, it will analyze. Then it will transmit the signal through a long tail. This is known as axon. This long structure is known as axon, where when the signal is received, it is processed inside the cell body. Then after processing, it will send the signal through to another neuron through this axon. So here, axon just act like an wire. Wire you might have seen inside the wire कैसे करंट मूव करता है, वैसे ही जैसे करंट मूव करता है इनसाइड द वायर, वैसे ही सिग्नल मूव करता है फ्रॉम सेल बॉडी टू अनदर न्यूरॉन थ्रू दिस लॉन्ग स्ट्रक्चर नोन एज एक्सॉन. जैसे एक वायर के ऊपर कवरिंग, प्लास्टिक लाइक कवरिंग होता है, इंसुलेटिंग मटेरियल कवरिंग होता है, इसलिए ये न्यूरॉन भी कवर होता है एक, मतलब और एक फैटी मटेरियल से कवर होता है, उसको बोलते हैं माइलिन शीथ. इसको बोलते हैं माइलिन शीथ. सो ये जो माइलिन शीथ होता है, ये क्या है? इट कवर्स. दिस एक्शन इज वेरी डेलिकेटेड इन नेचर. ओके, सो टू प्रोटेक्ट दिस एक्शन, this there is some covering, and it is fatty like structure which covers the main axon where signal can transmit. So it is known as myelin sheath. Okay, so at the end some other branch like structures are also coming, जैसे कि एक ट्री का रूट होता है वैसे ही. So इसको बोलते हैं टेलोडेंड्रिया. ये जो ब्रांच लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है इसको बोलते हैं टेलोडेंड्रिया. Then some terminals are also there. These are known as synaptic terminal. Okay, this synaptic terminal क्या होता है? ये कंटेन करता है कुछ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर. Okay, when the signal is transmitted, for example, you imagine that electrical wire carrying electricity. Okay, so that electrical signal reaches to this synaptic terminal. It creates some chemical reaction inside the synaptic terminal. So that chemical signal is responsible, or that transmit information to another neuron. ऐसे ही एक न्यूरॉन से दूसरे न्यूरॉन तक हमारा सिग्नल फ्लो करता है. And you might have seen that what is neurotransmitter? Neurotransmitter, actually these are some kinds of chemicals like your dopamine hormone, like that, serotonin. There are some kind of chemicals are present here in that particular sac or synaptic terminal. Some chemical reaction happens, and that is actually responsible to transmit the signal from one body to or one neuron to another neuron. Okay, so basic things are the summary. Again, I am just trying to explain you that this neuron or brain cell is very powerful cell of our body. It is responsible to take the signal. जैसे कि हमको मस्किटो बाइट करता है. Mosquito when bites on the skin, it feels, and particularly at that point some neurons are there which carry the information to our brain. The brain process that signal from which part of our body the mosquito is biting. Okay, so automatically our hand moves to bite that mosquito. So this happens how? Due to that neuron only. It takes the signal, it processes the signal, it finds what to do after processing the signal. That is done by the neuron. So that's why neurons are divided into 3 types. Okay, let's discuss about types of neurons. As I have told, how the neurons are activating, because some neurons are there which takes the signals from the different part of body to the brain. एक मसल्स और एनी पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी से ब्रेन को जाएगा. दूसरा न्यूरॉन है जो ब्रेन से इंफॉर्मेशन कैरी करेगा टू द मसल्स. ओके, और एक न्यूरॉन्स है जो दो न्यूरॉन्स को कनेक्ट करेगा. सो देयर आर 3 बेसिक काइंड्स ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स. यू नो, वन इज सेंसरी न्यूरॉन्स, मोटर न्यूरॉन्स एंड इंटर न्यूरॉन्स. ये सेंसरी न्यूरॉन्स क्या करेगा? बॉडी से ब्रेन तक, any part of the body to brain. ये सिग्नल सेंड करेगा और इंफॉर्मेशन सेंड करेगा. ओके. आफ्टर गेटिंग द सिग्नल ब्रेन एक्टिवेट, देन ब्रेन आल्सो सेंड सम सिग्नल. तो कैसे सेंड करेगा? बाय द मोटर न्यूरॉन. सो बॉडी, ब्रेन टू बॉडी. ये जो दोनों न्यूरॉन को कनेक्ट करेगा उसको बोलते हैं इंटर न्यूरॉन्स. ओके. ये इंटर न्यूरॉन कनेक्ट बोथ सेंसरी न्यूरॉन्स एंड मोटर न्यूरॉन्स. Okay, so remember neurons are three types: sensory neuron, motor neuron. Okay, sensory neurons brings the signal which part of the body, suppose having some pain or anything else. Okay, so that particular sensory neuron takes that signal to the or information to the brain. Brain process, then motor it sends the signal to activate. For example, if a mosquito bites on our hand, our another hand moves and bite. The movement of another hand and again remove that mosquito, that is done by this motor neuron. So, but how the sensory neuron and motor neuron they are coordinated? They are coordinated by interneurons. So these are the basic three types of neurons you have to study. You may face the problem in the NEET that which neuron is responsible to take the signal from your body to brain or any muscles to brain. Obviously muscles to brain. Okay. So which neuron is responsible to take the signal or order from body brain to that muscles. Okay, so these are very basic two types, very important types of neurons you are going to face in your NEET exam. Okay, and which neuron is responsible to coordinate, to provide the coordination between sensory and motor, that is known as interneurons. Okay, next we will discuss how actually neurons work. Actually, neuron send some electrical signals, and that electrical signals promotes chemical reaction inside. That is basically in synaptic terminal, as I have told you later. Okay, so that is just like ball passing. That means just so. In this way, the neurons work. Then what is next? Come to discuss about reflex action. What is reflex action? Reflex means suddenly without touch of our body we react. For example, sometimes dust come before some during storm our eyes automatically close. How? There is no touch of the dust on our body, but automatically our eyes close. That is coming under reflex action. Okay. So it is automatic response without any brain input. This is very important activity of our body, because we know our body know automatically without touch of any kind of external event or any kind of external element, our body activate. So this reflex action is basically it is an automatically response of our brain without any physical contact. Okay. So in that particular case, no neuron need to take the information from our body to brain or brain to body. Okay. So that is known as reflex action. So this is called reflex action. Okay. So how it works actually, reflex action? Reflex action works through many process. Okay. First is stimulus. Stimulus means surrounding triggers some information. Okay, like we feel whenever we feel hot body, we some hot water comes, we know that it will pain, it will give heat, or it may hurt our hand. Okay, that's why we move automatically our hand. Okay. Next, sensory neuron also carry, if we touch a body hot water, sensory neurons also carry some information that which part of the body is getting heated by hot water. Okay, so that is done by sensory neuron. Similarly, some actions are also there which is not done directly by the neurons but by the spinal cord itself. Okay, so in particular case, spinal cord act as a quick decision center. That means without sending the signal to the brain, after getting information by the sensory neuron, it can automatically activate. The brain is may मतलब सम कुछ भी ऐसा कुछ है, लेकिन कहीं कहीं स्पाइनल कॉर्ड ऑल्सो एक्टिवेट एंड इट टेक्स द रोल ऑफ द ब्रेन. Okay, so in this way our reflex action happens. Reflex action, it is automatic action done by our brain. Okay. Now let us discuss about some questions that you may face in NEET exam. So actually this is a foundation course. Okay, foundation very early course before NEET exam. So early course you must prepare like as if you are going for examination in NEET. Okay. So let us discuss few questions whatever I taught here regarding this neuron or neural cell or brain cell. Okay. Some questions are given here, very simple question. What is the basic unit of brain cell? What is that? What is the basic unit of brain cell? Obviously, neuron. Neuron, the answer is neuron. Neuron is the basic unit of brain cell. Brain cell को हम neuron बोलते हैं. Okay. Second question is, what is the main function of a neuron? Neuron, what it actually does? It carries message from the body, between body and spinal cord to the brain and brain to body through spinal cord. Actually, it is a messenger. It takes the signal. It gives the signal between the body to brain and brain to body. Okay. So the main function of neuron is to carries the messages. It carries the messages between brain, spinal cord, and body. बॉडी से ब्रेन को, ब्रेन से बॉडी को जो सिग्नल वो ट्रांसमिशन होता है, इसका मेन फंक्शन वही है. नेक्स्ट, व्हाट आर द गैप्स बिटवीन द टू न्यूरॉन्स? मींस as I have already told, one neuron is connected to another neuron. So in between two neurons there is a gap. Means where the chemical reaction happens. Electrical signal promotes chemical reaction. Okay. That chemical reaction transfers the information from one neuron to another neuron. That gap is known as synapse. That gap is synapse. Okay. So, what kind of gaps between the two neurons? Answer is synapse. Fourth question is, what kind of signals travels inside the neuron? ये न्यूरॉन के अंदर जो सिग्नल वो ट्रांसमिट करता है, वो which kind of signal? That is simple electrical signal. So answer is electrical signal. Our brain carries on your electrical signal. Okay. So these are the answer. You have to remember these are very basic things. Smallest questions, small questions, simple questions, and simple answer. So please prepare well. This is your beginning where you might be dreaming to get or qualified in a very good marks in it. So this is the foundation course. Please follow my video, read it well, understand, and any query you can message me.